Today I'm going to be talking to one of our students, Ben, who's going to be sharing his experience with us, talking about moving from project management into cybersecurity. I'm very excited to chat to Ben. We're going to understand all about his experience and his training with learning people and getting a job throughout the employment process and some of the stuff he's up to now. Quick intro for me. I'm Corey. I'm one of the managers here at Learning People based in New Zealand, but we do have offices all around the world, so Brisbane, Ireland, England. We've had over 40,000 students around the world as well. And in the 13 years we've been around, we've seen very, very large growth. Basically, Learning People offer career-ready education to anyone who's looking to change careers, start a career, climb the ladder. And we're all about getting you into new roles, giving you the best career pathways. We're also partnered with some of the biggest accreditors in the world, the likes of CompTIA, Cisco, and all the other biggest certification bodies, PMI, to give you the best skills aligned to what employers are looking for, and then support you into employment as well. So that's a bit about me and the company. I'm going to let Tabitha from Career Services introduce herself and her role. Then I'm going to ask Ben some questions, and then we've got some questions that have come in from you guys that Tabby and I are going to answer at the end. So Tabitha, tell us about who you are and what your role is.
Awesome. Thanks, Corey. Yeah, so basically I am in the career services team here in Christchurch. We also have some of our team based in Brisbane, but yeah, we are a team of ex-agency recruiters. So yeah, we are basically here to just help out with everything around your job search. A lot of our students do tend to be career changers, so we're just here to make sure that you know what you're doing when it comes to the job search side of things, and you've always got that guidance. Our process is run out over 3 phases. So we start off by looking at your CV, so just making sure that's marketable. Obviously, every industry, wants a different thing, so it can be really challenging knowing what to do. So we make sure that is going to get you noticed, as well as your LinkedIn profile. Phase 2 is all around the networking side of things. So that's where we really teach you how to use the platform. It's not enough to just kind of be on LinkedIn or even on Seek or anything like that. You really need to be proactive, and we will teach you how to get yourself in front of the right people and ensure that you are, going to get a role once you've done the training. Phase 3 is for when you're interviewing. So we'll help out with interview preparation. We can do practice interviews. We also help out with things like salary negotiation, multiple offers, contract negotiation. But yeah, we're a really flexible team. We're all highly experienced people, and we're just here to give you that guidance and make sure you know what you're doing. So yeah, that is us.
And what a great job you guys do. Thanks, Tabby. Right, Ben, thanks so much for coming along. We'll start off nice and easy. Tell us about your career journey to date, and why did you decide to change careers into cybersecurity?
Okay, hi everyone. I'm Ben. I'm a project manager. Initially, I graduated with a mechanical engineering degree, and I have been working in the manufacturing of the concrete products as the project manager. How do I start in the cyber? It's like I've been always handy with computer at work, so my colleague always come to me to when they have issues with their computer, printers, and any devices, and always manage to solve all their problems quickly and effectively. So that's a bit of cyber background at work. And then in 2020, unfortunately, our workplace was infected with ransomware. And yeah, it was scary. And you will guess it that I was invited by our top management to help up our outsourced IT service provider for the incident response and recovery. So we re-imaged all the computers and servers, and we migrated our system to the cloud. So that was my very first official involvement with cybersecurity incident, and I felt that I liked the taste of it, and I would like to do this as a career.
Wow, thrown right into the deep end.
Yes.
And how was your first call with Learning People?
Okay, first call was, I feel it was a life changer for me. I got a call from Duncan Gilchrist, who is a career consultant, and we had a great conversation, and he provided me with all the advice on what I need to do to achieve my dream of becoming a cybersecurity practitioner, and how learning people can help me to get there. So I was glad that I had the phone call, and I always thought of becoming one, but I just don't have the courage to do it. As for myself, I'm a parent with 2 kids, and but changing a career is such a big thing for me, and I really don't want to go to the wrong path and end up bringing the whole family down with me. So Duncan understood my concerns and gave me the advice and reassured me that what I'm doing is right. You'll be fine, and learning people will support me throughout the career change journey. And with all the information that I was received throughout the process, and I analyzed carefully, and yeah, I found that it's good, and I proceed with the proposal.
And having been here for 5 years, the careers consultants can get quite excited talking about the salaries and the unemployment rate and how easy it is. Did you feel at any point that the call with Duncan, like it was just a bit too good to be true?
Not really, because it was like something that is expected, the salary and what's going on around the world is all over the news, and for me it sounds believable. Yeah.
And what made you decide to do these certifications?
Okay, because to pursue this dream, you need to be qualified internationally. So what was being tailored to me was to do CompTIA certifications, and CompTIA is a world-recognized bodies for IT and other cyber industry. So we're having foundation in network, in security, and the penetration testing, and some other cybersecurity analytics. So that will help me to get there to achieve my dream.
And a lot of our students worry, can I study while working a full-time job? How did you personally find it studying while working full-time?
Okay, for me, it was I really wanted to pursue this. So for me, it's a must-do for me. So I put in a huge commitment. I spend about 3 to 4 hours a day, every day after work, like say about 9 o'clock at night after the kids gone to bed. So I've been sacrificing my sleep for a little bit, but it's seriously, it's worth it, because when you pass the certification, the feeling, oh my goodness, is so good. And yeah, I've done 4 certifications within 12 months, so averagely 3 months a certificate. And I also give myself some time off, like maybe every week, like one night I don't study, but I do something else. So that's how I get the balance of myself. Yeah. So all you need to just to endure for 1 year, and you'll get there.
Yeah, you'd study harder than I would. And leads to the next question: how long between actually enrolling and getting your first job?
Okay, it took me about 9 months to officially sign the paper as a contract for the job. And I've been starting the job search since 6 months into the course.
Okay, pretty quick. And what was the interview process like?
Okay, for my current role, there was many stages involved, and I find that they are quite competitive. We have done online submissions of your CV and your cover letter, and then they done a behavioral assessment, some technical questions like some sort of like squid exam, and a coding test, and then a video interview where we record ourselves answering the questions that has been pre-recorded. And lastly, at the final stage, where we have another interview sessions, technical presentations, where the topic was given to you like the week before, and with a live Q&A from the interviewer. That was quite intense. And after that, there will be a work in a group where all the candidates work together in a team of 4 or 5, and they solve all the challenges provided. And I was told there was about 3,000 applicants for the cohort that for the applicants for this program, and around 90 candidates got offered, and only 3 of them were cybersecurity analysts. How?
3,000 applicants, far out. How was it working with career services to get your current role?
Okay, working with the career services. So my rep is Tabata. She's been very excellent. She helped me to get through, like what she said before, like the LinkedIn profile, the CV, cover letter, and the support throughout the stages of my interview. Like before interview, we will have a conversation and catch up just to have a brief mental preparation to know like what am I expecting and what am I going to facing, and then after the interview we catch up again. So, and we even gone through like job advertisements, and we ran through a scenario, how do I apply for each of the jobs and what should I look at. Yeah, I think that's a very good exposure to get there.
And what does a day in the life of a graduate security analyst look like? What do you enjoy most about your current role?
Okay, for me, this is just my first month into the job. I've completed my first month, and I'm currently in the security operations team, sorry. And our main task is to handle security incidents, like say from the same insights, analyze the logs, identify fraud, transactions, and also collaborate with customer service and so much more, which I'm so soon to explore in this current role. I'm very thankful to have a wonderful buddies assigned to me and to guide me and to help me establish my role with the company. And they're so helpful in sharing the knowledge, and the team is great. And I have a very supportive manager too. What I enjoy the most is the teamwork that they have, and we work like as a team, and there's a great culture here where everyone support each other. What they even told me is nobody knows everything. So this is the time where we all learn from each other, brainstorm, sharing ideas, and solve security incidents. As you know, threat actors are always finding new ways to perform their malicious act. So we have to evolve accordingly. So that's how the team work. And yeah, I really enjoy the working environment there.
Would you say there were any transferable skills that were useful in your transition into a cybersecurity role?
Okay, for main one is the practical skill that we learn from the lab sessions when we go through the preparation for the examination for the certificates. These will get you familiarized with the interface of the software. Obviously, every software is different, but at least you get a basic idea of how each system roughly works. And then from there, you will need to add your willingness to learn, because it's a very extreme important factor here. Because no matter what you know, when you go to a new environment, to a new place, you need to be willing to learn and absorb like a sponge again in order to success in your work or whatever you do. Seriously, yeah.
And what is your advice for anyone looking to change careers into tech?
This is a very good question, because I was there in this position before, and please believe that you are not alone out there trying to do this, and there are far more people looking to change career into technology or other industries. So my advice is get the right advice, never give up, build your network with others, and get yourself internationally qualified certification to back yourself up. But this is what the recruitment people are looking for, your qualifications.
And finally, would you say it was worth the investment?
Oh, yes, it is. It's worth it.
Fantastic. Rightio, we've got a few questions from some of you guys. I can answer the first one. How is Learning People's training platform different from other providers? I think it's a mixture of things. So support's massive. You've got a student care team member assigned to you who is going to contact you weekly or fortnightly, depending on your level of support you require. Obviously, career services who are going to be in contact with you very, very early on, first week or second week, to get your CV and LinkedIn stuff started. And their role is to basically assist you until you're employed. So the support's one side of things. We also differ really in the the skills-based training. So the live practice labs, we're actually getting hands-on skills. So you're being thrown into real-world scenarios and learning how to do on-the-job tasks in an environment from your own home. Very, very handy before going into interviews to prove that you can do the job. And then we've got you can do it in your own time at your own pace, which is massive. Sometimes people try and do this through 5 days in a classroom, which is just never going to happen, especially if you're new to the industry. You're just going to fall behind and think, what the heck's going on? So being able to do it in your own time at your own pace is imperative. You've also got a mentor with you every step of the way, and they're available one-on-one, 40 hours a week, and they are all certified in whatever certification you're studying. So you can go to them for help. There's an online library with every single book you could possibly need on IT. There's also test and exam preparations to make sure you're properly ready for the exams. And we now have an app that actually allows you to download content and listen to it on the go. So there's no excuse really. You've got a 1 hour train ride in the morning, even half an hour in the car, rather than listen to a podcast or music. You can chuck some of your study on. Half an hour to and from work is an hour's worth of study that day. So a whole lot of flexibility, a whole lot of support, right from when you start all the way up until when you're employed, which is what we think is the main reason you train, is to get a job at the end of it. Right, this one's from Mark. Tabby, what types of entry-level positions are there in cybersecurity, and what does the career ladder look like?
Yeah. So typically, I guess entry-level roles will be like a SOC analyst or a cybersecurity analyst. So they would entail, it's sort of what Ben covered, but a lot of monitoring staff, maybe educating staff, securing company networks. You're typically in a team of people, just kind of getting that exposure to the industry. So you'd be in a role like this for, a year, sometimes less, depending on, where you're wanting to go with it. From there are really a lot of different directions that you can go. Penetration testing and ethical hacking are very popular in terms of the roles to go into. There's also a lot of consulting roles these days that are becoming very popular. It just depends on what you enjoy, and what your goals are. At the more senior level, you can get into security audits, security manager roles. The sky's really the limit. It's really a good time to be getting into the industry as well, because we're finding that a lot of our students aren't really staying in entry-level roles for very long, just because obviously there's a skills shortage at the entry level, but, at the senior level, it's honestly a lot worse. So it's quite good because you can be in a role and end up getting approached, by recruiters or potential employers for those more senior roles. So yeah, a lot of different options. It's, after working, I think, in the industry, you'll pretty quickly get a feel for what you like doing and what you don't. And, then it's just up to you with where you want to go with it.
Very good. Another one here that we get a lot from Josh. Do I need a degree to get into IT? And I can answer that. You absolutely do not need a degree. Look, if you already have an IT degree, it's helpful. There's no two ways about that. But if you're wanting to move into the space, you don't have to look very far to realize it's not a great investment if you're wanting to move into the IT space. If you look at the basic structure of an IT degree, you do little bits and pieces of everything and never quite specialize. You've got all sorts of elective courses and whatever. There's also, plenty of different universities in Australia all offering a bachelor's degree of IT. So when you graduate, a recruiter doesn't actually know what they taught at your university, what elective courses you took, or what you actually learned, which is obviously pretty troublesome. If you get something like, say, the CompTIA Security Plus, which is one of the ones that Ben got, it's half theory, half practical. So the moment you've passed that examination, it tells any recruiter that you have all of the skills required for an entry-level IT security position. And at the very least, that's going to get you an interview in the current job climate, and then they'll put you through the tasks as Ben had to go through. And the minute you prove you can do the job, which you should be able to do after your CompTIA Security Plus, they don't have the luxury to say no, she was a candidate currently. So do you need a degree? Absolutely not. If you've already got one, don't stress. It's still good to have, but you only need skill-based certifications in order to move into the industry.
Look at the prime example.
Say again.
I said, look at Ben, he's a prime example, didn't have a degree, you know, well, had a degree, just not in this, and then, you know, is now working in the industry. So
it's really, really all about skills. Another one for you, Tabby, from Jody. I've been out of the job market for several years now. Would I be able to get a role in cybersecurity with such a gap?
Yeah, good question. And again, this is something that comes up a lot. But yes, you absolutely would. I think the good thing about cyber is that there is such a shortage of certified people, as we've sort of discussed. They don't have the luxury of being fussy. Literally all employers care about is that you have those practical skills to be able to do the job. And I mean, skills gaps are pretty common these days. Like a lot of people, you know, take breaks, whether it's to raise a family, go traveling, they just need some time off. So I think employers are a lot more understanding of it, but especially in this industry. Studying's also a big reason people stop working, or, you know, if you've had a big gap and then decide to study, that can be a really good way of sort of filling that gap. You know, it's very attractive to an employer because you have taken the initiative, you're clearly extremely motivated to get into the industry, you've gone and self-funded training. So I think it's just about the way you're communicating that gap. But we would, you know, make sure that we help you put that on your CV and just make sure it's not a concern to an employer. And if anything, it's again just showing that you are someone who's motivated and you've gone and done this and now you're ready to re-enter the workforce. So it doesn't have to be a bad thing, and I don't think it's an issue at all.
Yeah, we actually have another webinar with someone called Tina Gray, who was out of work for 10 years. She'd never worked in IT either, and we managed to get her into a position quite quickly. Okay, that's all we have time for today, unfortunately, quick one. So thanks very much, Ben, for your time, and thank you, Tabitha, for explaining career services and how we assist. If you're wanting to get in touch, go to our website there, find the course you want to look into. There'll be a button there that says get more info, and one of our career consultants will be in touch as soon as we can. But thanks very much for coming, everyone. Have a good day.